2 for $4, man, in Florida. 2 was the deal, yes. Bro, I was lit.
They must have gotten so much.
Tampa, man.
We
I need a high
We walked into a beef the other day. The first time we've ever brought anything to a beef.
Wow.
I was very
Yes,
awkward.
kids. Yes, for kids. Yes, yes, the kid. It's a arcade. Yes, they call it Yes, the kid. It's in Jersey. You bring your own beer.
Really? So it's just an arcade where you bring your own beer?
Yeah, it's an arcade room. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're. Yeah, it's called. It's in Jersey somewhere. I don't know where.
Sounds great. No, we went to Sushi Season.
Me and Danielle put them on this place.
It's an all-you-can-eat sushi place.
I had never been out there like Danielle's
The one thing here
I was always dry and super soccer because it was like, Harry, you have to drive it if you have one sip of wine, you're gonna die.
But we just never knew what to do.
Yeah, like what was the...
Because he was so off
We
about
brought
it. He's
things that we
like,
don't need glasses for. So she got high noons and I got a large
See, I always bring wine to the wine.
and they'll
So
like
then
open it and give you
they
glasses.
open it and give you glasses. That's what I do.
We went to the place where you get like a bag of grapes. A great place for other but they were like on a table behind here, had a bunch of like it's like technically you look it up, you're not allowed to bring those. Yeah, airplane bottles, but they were just like down in the
But were they putting them like, were they like, can I have a glass of tonic or gin?
Maybe.
oh, that's shot bar.
They did a fish or something. So that place
I
had
guess that place knows this is how it goes down here.
they were like technically you're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for me. Like I usually stick to wine if not, like, I don't know, like my neighbor or something like that, like, as long as it's cooler, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I love wine.
What flavor?
My favorite, what do you guys like kind of say least favorite? My favorite's grapefruit.
When we were at the
Grapefruit's my second. The
This
cherry,
is
I don't
funny. It says,
I like the cherry and the grapefruit. I really don't like the pineapple.
this makes, I love this. It says, if an immigrant who doesn't speak English can travel 2,000 miles on foot with barely any food or water with no money, can walk across the border and just steal your job tomorrow, you should be spending less time on Twitter and more time developing a skill.
How late will you be there? Oh, I'm sorry. What time?
Well, she's got to close up.
Oh, she said I'm hopefully out around 9:30. You guys might be at your next thing. We could maybe go.
Yeah, I still hang out. I'm not doing anything. I mean, I got a game tomorrow, so.
I have to teach it so. My Fridays I don't really teach.
Exactly. I mean, are you full time back in, or are you just like a couple days there, a couple days home?
I am a single day a week.
Okay.
But the only reason we shouldn't
Killer My Wednesdays.
I can right now because I teach college classes. Like my friends like, why don't I stay? I get back home. So I'm there on Wednesdays. No one teaches in front of kids. Yeah. So kids are in the building, but they're in the building. So that's the way that functions. The way I structure my days. Monday through Thursday, a regular lesson.
Alexandra has invited me to come over tomorrow night.
It just means that I don't have to write a new lesson.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's just like I come on.
Is that okay?
They vote on it, and then they have
I heard you wanted to leave
make a single slide.
She really wants me to be there Friday night.
Sounds easy enough.
Said, like she had said earlier that, you know, when she was here last weekend, she was like, she had wanted to come over Friday night, but she was, you know, dealing with
Jordan
her
dicks on
friend.
it. So yeah,
She was dealing with her friend, you know, the one that's got all the problems right now. And like she was saying, like, she was like, you had caught most of the conversation, and she just, I don't know why she decided to have that conversation like that.
Just leave it to the right. Oh, you didn't know?
No, but
FaceTime.
they copied it.
I mean, I can understand you can have a conversation on FaceTime, but she also had it like on speakerphone. So like everything Amanda was saying, I could hear, but like I was tuning it out because I guess like I didn't want to be rude because basically I think the friend had basically FaceTimed her. She really couldn't like get out of it. She did walk outside to go. She did walk outside to have a more in-depth conversation with her. Yeah, but she's basically, she's been telling me what this woman Amanda has been going through. It's really rough and it's really bad, but the problem is like...
Amanda can't let go, that's the problem.
Yes, exactly. She won't let go.
She wants this person to stay with her, and the person wants to leave her.
Like she said, she always saying, she's like been saying to her, he doesn't care about you.
She doesn't want to see that, whatever.
All I think of is, was it the third Lonely Island song with him and Timberlake, where he's like, the mom says, hi, Jinx, when they come out of the house.
Oh, you guys said you are doing the tasting, or?
Yes.
Okay. For the kombucha, I'm just gonna give each table a can of each one you guys. Thank you.
This is Lychee Lime. It's low calorie.
Can you let me do my presentation?
I'm so sorry.
That's the whole reason I'm here.
You want to pour it first?
Actually, no. I'm not this here for that. I'd rather be like this year.
Smells carrot cheese.
Alright, so let me see.
I like it, it's live.
How shitty that is.
Yeah, that's not
Checking it in on that.
No. I
Zachariah.
was setting it to my Coca-Cola though.
Come back to us, Zachariah.
Well, I can help here. I'm not kidding about that. There's that.
Oh, I like that one. Cute. Okay, that's the one.
She uses Snapchat.
Yeah, because I was dating a freaking baby. But now no. Just duty. She's 7.
I feel a little bit of like animosity there.
Well, you do.
You can drink some booze
Thank
and
you.
feel better.
Alright.
Yeah.
No, I'm 0 for 0. Dumped with you a long time coming.
Oh, it's not bad this one.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Oh.
No! Summer, no.
I loved everything about that. I like this.
Yeah, I can't
I
tell.
hated my friend.
I like this a lot.
Super light.
Very light.
What do you taste? I think it tastes.
Huh?
Oh, I don't think so at all. I
No,
think
there's a taste to it, but I don't know if it's
it
pickled in.
tastes like lychee and lime. It literally does.
I think that, yeah. Like a key lime pie.
Says on the can.
I really like this one. Not gonna lie.
Did you have any?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I feel like I'm about to have some while I'm sitting here.
All right, here we are.
Yeah.
Beer Club. What month is this? I don't know. I don't even know. April, I think. 2021. Monday starts sitting at the bar again. How about that? Okay, so today we have two pretty cool things going on here. We have kombucha, which is our first kombucha that we've had at one of these meetings. So that's pretty cool, hard kombucha. We have it in 3 different flavors for your choice. And here we'll be presenting that from Luna Bay. And then we're going to have Tom come up and talk about Red Tank Brewery from Red Bank, New Jersey. Woo! How many people have been to Red Tank?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. There you have it. Well, she's at the meeting, so obviously it's good. Okay, so here we go. Hand it off to Kira.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Kira. I work for Luna Bay Hard Kombucha Company. We are a female-owned and operated hard kombucha company. We're based out of Chicago. We have 3 delicious flavors for you to try today. If you guys want to get started with the Lychee Lime, while I'm talking a little bit, that is our low-calorie, low-carb, zero sugar flavor.
I've been going to the gym a lot, so
It's great for a day at the beach. Stick a little tequila or mezcal in it. It's a great low-calorie burrito. So our hard kombucha company was founded by 2 friends that met when they were in college. Bridget and Claire. Claire is a hard kombucha brewer, regular kombucha brewer, and Bridget was in marketing. And she worked with some other hard kombucha brands and decided, I can do this better. I can make these more delicious, I can make them healthier. So together they decided to start Luna Bay.
Well, when you're running normally.
And we opened in 2019, and we brew out of Chicago, brew out of Denver, with our head brewer Joe. She's awesome. Has anybody had regular or hard kombucha before?
Yeah.
You guys just tried it. You don't count. So how it's made with teeth. We ferment it with our yeast and bacteria culture. And then we secondary ferment it with champagne yeast to give it that very clean, dry, effervescent finish. Yes, champagne yeast that. And we source all of our ingredients from small farmers. And we work with 1% for the planet, so 1% for all the money the company makes goes back to helping the environment. Because we want to be as sustainable as possible, as well as being healthy and fun.
Palo Santo Blueberry.
Yes, so the Palo Santo Blueberry, I was going to have you guys taste last, because that is the strongest of the 3 we brought today.
The one waitress said she really liked this one.
That is our best-selling flavor. Out of all 4 flavors that we have normally. And we also do limited edition flavors. Our newest one coming up this June is going to be Grapefruit Jalapeno.
Oh.
So that one makes a great Paloma, if anybody's into that. So the ginger lemon is made with fresh ginger and lemons. And the blueberry is made with Palo Santo wood from a small farmer in Ecuador. And it's steeped directly into our yerba mate tea base. So it gives it a nice earthy, grassy quality.
So it's wood.
Yes.
That sounds like, I believe I got this from a YouTube video online from BuzzFeed. There's a Dominican spice drink called Mama Juana, and it's like they take like rum, like unaged rum, and they put it in a bottle, and each it's kind of like a family tradition. Each family has their own like special recipes, like herbs and spices. But one of the things that they put in it is a special type of wood that has like a red grain, if I remember right. My memory might be wrong, but it uses a wood to spice it.
Okay, I didn't know that. That is very interesting information that I will have to look into.
I've never had it though, because I've never seen it.
Oh, you should try making it.
I could make it.
Yes.
So I have a question. I've made kombucha before.
Yes, sir.
You guys make kombucha with the SCOBY, and then after that process is done, you add sugar and champagne yeast?
Yes, sir.
Brew it on full second?
I do full secondary, and that's also when we add the flavor.
Okay, so you did.
So what type of sugar? Is it just like a cup of regular sugar? Or?
We use cane sugar,
Ah.
which makes our product vegan, a lot of the other hard kombucha companies on the market are using honey or a mix of sugar and honey.
I didn't know honey wasn't vegan.
Technically, if you use honey, it's not always called a kombucha. It could be called a June, which is cream and honey.
I didn't know.
Fermented similarly to a
Okay,
kombucha.
but I didn't know honey wasn't necessarily vegan.
Oh, honey's made by bees.
The bees work.
And a lot of people who are vegan don't use any animal
After their labor.
Hey, quick question.
Yes.
It's an organ minimum, so you can something someday.
But that kind of seems like
So we ferment in steel fermenters, just like a regular brewery does
They make
with our symbiotic.
So
It's wild.
That's the argument.
It is
Here's the stupid
partially
then
because it
you're not going to take the beef and you can't eat anything because nothing will accept not the power of the beef.
Yeah.
if you're gonna get that, yeah.
So you might as well just drink water the rest of your life.
I always love the joke. I always love the joke in the Simpsons. It's like I'm a level 4 vegan. I don't eat anything that has a.
So we're vegan, non-GMO, and gluten-free.
And then I was like, okay.
So feel free to drink up.
I was like, okay, so that means like potatoes.
God, I'm right.
Does anybody else have questions?
What type of tea do you use?
We use yerba mate tea, Jason.
So, how does one make tea for men?
So you make a sweet tea base. It depends on how much you're making, what the measurements are. And then you use a SCOBY, which is a liquid that has bacteria and yeast in it. And sometimes it also comes with a pellicle, which is kind of like this gelatinous thing that goes on top.
I've seen kombucha made. It's like a real chemistry
It looks
experiment.
weird,
Yeah.
but it tastes delicious.
I mean, there's a show on Vice. It's called Bon Appetit, and they talked about a kombucha with THC in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know how that works.
I don't remember how they got the THC in it. I think it was kind of like a trade secret, but they showed how they made the kombucha. And, like, seriously, to me, it kind of felt like I was watching, like, Breaking Bad with, like, how, like, very meticulous to make a kombucha was. And, like, they had all these vats and stuff and these things that they would add to it. And it took a very long time. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So no wonder kombucha is kind of expensive. It's really labor intensive.
Very nice. Yes, I had a bad trip in it.
So on average, like, how long does it take to make, like, what's this one again? The Lychee Lime?
So all of our kombuchas take about a month to finish.
Wow.
Just like a beer. 2 weeks to a month
that I've never seen.
for a basic.
I've seen.
It depends on the style. We're not making barrel-aged sours.
Edible.
IPAs, yeah. You know my feelings on IPAs.
Edible. I still have it.
Does anybody have a particular favorite flavor?
So far, the lime and the Palo-Santo, the blueberry are very good. I've heard interesting things about the yellow.
The ginger one's very gingery, which I love. I'm a huge fan of ginger.
I haven't had it yet.
I want pictures of it, but I wanted to like go.
The one that we don't have tonight is the hibiscus lavender,
Oh.
which is very floral. If you're interested in trying it, they're selling it over at Beverage Island. Head over and pick some up. But the other three you should drink here. Because they're here. We're distributed by Serene.
So it was the feature. Oh, is it town? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you said that.
What's the work meaning? What do you guys do? How much are you producing? Is it by barrel?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. We are still relatively small. I would consider us like a microbrewery size.
No, that's great. That's great because kombucha, hard kombucha is hard to come by.
There's a couple brands in the market right now. It's an emerging category. Not a lot of people are familiar with it, but
More people ask for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's an interesting concept.
It's a nice alternative to like a seltzer or a cider or something like that.
It's not bad.
It's very nice.
I like
When you're watching your figure.
Yeah, you know.
But
Just watching it get bigger.
the way that the flavor moves around the egg, you get
That's me about
doesn't taste processed.
the way that it ferments.
Yeah, it's very clean. That's
I mean, it's obviously live bacteria. Is it like a yeast or like a different type of live bacteria? Because
no, she said they put champagne in it.
You had a question.
so I remember you saying that to make it hard, you use a champagne yeast.
Yes.
But to make the kombucha, what's the special word?
The SCOBY,
The SCOBY.
which is symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Yeast and bacteria, whichever way.
So is it kind of like a yeast or a live bacteria? Because I know I always thought when I had like got into sake, I thought sake was made with yeast. Sake isn't made with yeast, it's made with some type of live culture. I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's not like you ferment the rice and then you put you oil the rice and make a yeast. Like, it's not like how you would make if you were making like a whiskey where you would add the yeast in and the alcohol would siphon off. For the sake, it was like a live culture that they put mix in with the rice, and the rice has to ferment in these sacks, and then they squeeze the liquid out, and that liquid is sake, which is really interesting. It's I didn't know sake was so labor intensive. So it's like a live culture and yeast, or just
Yes.
a live culture?
So it's similar to a wild fermented beer.
Oh.
So we have both yeast and bacteria in the culture.
Oh.
And then there are live probiotics in our product.
Oh. So it's like.
So it does have a little bit of a health benefit, but you're also drinking alcohol, so it's up to you to make that decision.
That's really full area after that.
It still exists. We haven't measured health versus alcohol.
So it's kind of like alcoholic
Yeah,
yogurt.
typically if you don't drink regular kombucha, all that healthy gut bacteria,
Well, yogurt has live cultures.
I know.
So I was saying this like an alcoholic yogurt, because when you eat yogurt has live cultures in it.
Yes. I don't know if you can ferment yogurt in the same way.
I don't milk though.
You can ferment milk.
Can you ferment meat, Greg? From the look at Holly. Can you do that?
That's not how milkshake cookies work.
Oh my God.
It definitely
Rhode
should.
Island, there's a two in the ring.
This is very interesting. Now, because I used to work at BJ's, and BJ's has one of the most. I haven't really been in for the time I was working at BJ's. They have a really diverse juice section, and they have all these healthy juices and stuff like that. But they have these huge glass bottles of kombucha, and I was tempted to buy one. But then I was like, this is a big bottle of kombucha. If I don't like it, what am I going to do with the rest of it?
You can continue to let it ferment and it turns into a vinegar. And then you can make dressings and stuff with it.
Oh,
or you
that's
could
neat.
marinate meat in it if you wanted to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Good to know. So if I don't like it, I can make it into a vinegar.
You can.
So would if once I open it, would I just put the cap back on and just let it sit outside and
So I would take the cap off just a little bit, just so there's a little bit of airflow. So the culture can. Yeah, that too. So it doesn't explode and the culture can breathe.
Oh.
And
You
then
have to put
Like the bubbly thing on it.
keep an eye on it, because if it molds, you're gonna have to throw the whole thing out.
Yeah.
But if you let it sit out at a moderate temperature, like room temperature, or a little warmer, but you're supposed to ferment kombucha somewhere around 70 to 80 degrees.
Oh, okay.
It should continue to ferment and dry out and turn through vinegar.
Wow, that's very cool.
All right. I'm gonna pass this on to Tom now, so you guys can try some super fun beer.
We haven't tried the lemon beer yet.
Hey, I just a reminder, try to keep it talking to him, because it gets to be like a cacophony of sound. It's hard to hear the speaker. Thank you. And now Tom!
Yeah.
How we doing?
All right.
I don't even know if all the beers have been poured yet. Where are we at? Oh, okay, cool. So, my name is Tom. I'm the tap room manager over at Red Tank Brewing. As I saw a show of hands before, only one person has been to town. We've been here. You don't count.
4, 5.
Ginger lemon.
I don't think we got the ginger one.
So, Red Bank, as a town, it's exit 109 on the Garden State Parkway.
Sorry about that, guys.
I figured that would probably be an understandable thing for most people here. We're about 15 minutes from Asbury Park. That might be easier to landmark. We started as a brewery in October of 2018. So we're still relatively new. Still ironing out
really
kinks
good.
and everything like that. And I don't know, you work with me.
This is really.
Oh, hey, by the way, Kara also works at Red Tank Brewing with me.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Woo!
So, well, we brought 5 different beers for you tonight. Eventually they'll all be passed out to you. I think the first one we're going to sip on is the Sona Gold Kolsch. It's a nice, light, effervescent kind of light beer. I find it's like the easy way into getting into craft beer just in general. Where we are as our building is, we're stuck in between a lot of other bars. We just happen to be a bar crawl spot in between a bunch of other places. So we get a lot of people that don't exactly know what craft beer is. So
Uncultured swine.
So we do get a lot of people that'll come in and be like, hey, can I get a Miller Lite? Stuff like that. So okay, fine, I get it, you're just walking through town. So we decided to make a light style beer that 9 times out of 10 that person's gonna end up liking anyway. And then hopefully they'll try something else. And then something else off of that. Because craft beer just in general can get weird. So Mike's bringing around pictures of Sona, right?
Cold.
Yes, sweet. So it's a nice light 5% beer, so it's not going to get you all messed up or anything like that.
You can drive home.
Yeah, exactly. You can have 3, maybe 4, and be perfectly fine.
They won't take your car to go over the outer bridge.
Yeah, I guess he would still need to get back. So the name of the Kolsch is based off of my boss's father-in-law. His name is Sona, and so that's where the Sona Gold name comes from. But it kind of plays on the fact that it's a very gold-looking beer just in general. So it kind of has that kind of market ploy.
Thank you. So nice.
And you'll see with a handful of our other beer names that we like to have a little bit of a play on words with our names.
I guess the lemon one wasn't really for you. Did you like the other two? Yeah, the Lychee one's really nice.
Can you technically call it a Kolsch even though it's not brewed in Cologne?
I mean, we also have a Trappist Double that wasn't brewed by monks.
Oh no.
Oh, watch out.
But if you're brewing it under the same kind of standards, yeah, why not? We're not here to be goody two-shoes about the whole process. We just like beer.
Beer is
And,
good.
It's very good.
I like it.
yes.
So what are the grains and what are the yeasts?
Yes. The grains, most of the stuff we use is two-row pale. So that's pretty much just our backbone on a lot of our pale beers just in general. And I feel like that's a lot of the backbone on most breweries' beers just in general. The yeast, on the other hand, don't recall. I should have looked up the brew sheet for this one. I didn't. I wasn't involved in the brewing for this batch of it, so I haven't really studied the brew sheet on that one. I'm sorry for that. That's information I can scrounge up somewhere though. If you like DM the Red Tank Instagram page, because I'll be in charge of that too.
Oh, neat.
So
you guys hiring?
We are. So yeah, this was a fun one. It's very light. It's very easy, and like I said, it's a very good like introductory to craft beer kind of beer.
It's nice and crisp.
What's up?
Nice and crisp.
Yes. I think the big thing for us is also because of our location, we get like a lot of bar crawlers. We want to make sure all of our beers are very easily accessible to anyone that walks by. So nothing's going to be overly bitter, overly pungent, overly strong. It's just like, if you're gonna have, we're gonna have our Hazy IPA later. It's not going to be full-on hop, punch in your face kind of beer. It's going to be relatively mellow compared to a lot of other Hazy IPAs. So we wanted everything to be accessible for most people just walking in off the street, because that's a lot of our traffic. We just get a lot of people just walking in because they're just walking down the sidewalk.
Are you near the beer garden joint?
No, that's over in Asbury.
Yeah.
We're about 15 minutes from there.
Oh, well,
So-
then that's not that far.
I mean, in relatively speaking, like,
Well, I mean, that's, I get an idea like where you are in
Yes.
like circumference.
so, I mean, I guess a 15-20 minute drive, you can be from Asbury Park to Red Tank. But if you're already in downtown Red Bank, you're not going to want to drive to Asbury, and vice versa.
I'm mixing up the letters.
If you have to drive more than 15 minutes in New Jersey, yeah, it's not worth it.
Oh my God. You should see all the crap places we drive to in Jersey.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying people don't. It's just where we are. Most people would rather just stay. So what's next? Next is the Saison, right? So the next is our New Beginning Saison. We did this with lemon zest, chamomile, and lavender.
Interesting.
So it's got a lot of floral notes to it, a lot of sweet, mellow, light, with that light, peppery kind of thing going on in the background of it.
Considering that like everything that you've said so far, you've made to be like a general crowd, what made you guys choose then to go with the Saison?
My boss has a really big thing for Belgian beers just in general. So like his favorite styles are Belgian blondes, saisons, doubles, and stuff like that. So he wanted to do like all those sorts of styles. And this saison just in general, I'm not the biggest saison fan myself. Like it's never going to be my first choice. Not that I don't like them. It's just I would pick 5 other things before it. But as far as saisons go, I feel like this is pretty enjoyable. It's very light. It reminds me of like springtime, which is perfect for. I mean, I know it's raining today, but a sunny spring day, I could find myself enjoying this. And it's just got enough of the floral aspects of the chamomile and the lavender, but it's not like in your face. And then the lemon zest kind of breaks it up right at the end, along with all the pepperiness of how a saison normally is. So it's a fun one.
I don't want to rock about
Yes.
I almost just want it so I can just wear it, but I don't want to wear it knowing the
It can. It doesn't have to though. The yeast, like the Belgian yeast that most places use, already has that kind of like natural flavoring. So you could add more, like we did with the chamomile, lavender, lemon zest. We added that as like a dry hop, rather than just letting the yeast do what it does.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
it doesn't have to. Oh yeah.
But like if he was cut off,
Yeah.
I would honestly, if you would have put down all three of them, if I would have wore it, I would have changed here and went over. Because like I really wanted to be the first time that we all see each other war. I really wanted that. That was like the first time we all got back together.
Alright, and I think the next one that we're doing is a brand new one. It's our Sofa King Cherry Vanilla Sour. Yes.
Sofa King.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, we like to have play on words with our beer names. Yeah, exactly.
So fucking cherry sour.
And when we started advertising for it, the ad says Sofa King Delicious. Exactly. So eventually you'll be drinking that.
Recommendations. Even recommendations for like old sketches like I just been watching a bunch of stuff. Like that's all I'm doing on now.
So I'm taking a wild guess. Sea salt lactic acid.
No. So we did Berliner White Style. We wanted to stay away from the kettle sour kind of thing. I'm not a big kettle sour guy. I find them way too acidic, way too tart. I would love to do a Goza, so that's up on the list of things to do. But we did this as a Berliner White Style. Keep it really soft, really really thick.
Low ABV.
5%.
For Goza or sour, that's actually right.
Yeah. Most of our stuff lands in that 5 to 6 range. So the only heavy one that we're gonna have later is our Hazy IPA. That's at 6.8. Eventually, that cherry sour is gonna be That's one of my favorites. We did the cherry vanilla, and we also did mango strawberry. We split the. We didn't bring the mango strawberry.
So you all need to go to the brewery because Tom and I have this thing going. So his favorite one's the cherry vanilla. I prefer the mango strawberry. So you need to go and vote.
Are there other flavors?
Just
those two?
Yeah, so what we did is we did a 15-barrel batch of a base sour, and then we just split it in half and flavored one side, flavored the other side. So it's going to be like a mainstay rotational kind of thing. We're going to keep a sour on tap just at all times. We're just going to change the flavors every time.
That's Sofa King consistent.
Yes. Nailed it. Nailed it. I think the next one I want to do a play on off of the lemon lime kind of thing. So I want to do a lemon meringue and then a key lime. Split it like that. Maybe. We're not doing blueberry basil.
It sounds like a spice soda.
I'll do it in a Randall. I'll do it in a Randall every day. Yes, sir.
You guys purposely
not that it's a necessity, but it just so happens that a lot of the beers that we've been making lately have been lower in ABV just in general. A couple that we did in the past month and change, we did a Belgian blonde. Well, we brought back our Belgian blonde. We were out of it for a while. That's at 6.7. And then we have our Belgian double. That's at 8.2. We have a triple IPA at 9.
saved us
we do step up,
like $70,
but
$80.
as of right now, like everything's covered, like pretty much hovering that.
So that wasn't my plan.
Yeah, exactly. We have a chocolate imperial porter at like 8.5. So we do step higher.
Probably a double.
Make sure she gets it.
Is it sour? I don't like the smell of it. But I think that's because the other beers are involved.
Make sure she gets it.
I'm so bad because the other beers are involved with this one. The Saison. I think that Saison ruined the cup for me. I can't get the real taste of it.
So what's absolutely funny about me and Kara doing this is every Sunday, this is pretty much what we do. We just sit around at the brewery, crack open cans of beers that we bring from home, and drink on the job.
Better on its
Yeah.
So
the Saison killed that.
I find like the cherry vanilla sour, the tartness and the sour part of it is on the back of the fruit, while it's like the mango strawberry. If you ever decide to come to the brewery and try it out, it's more front forward on that tartness. It's like more traditional sour. Like you get that puckeriness immediately.
What do you think?
The cherry vanilla, the vanilla really smooths it out.
It's really good. You don't like it? This right now we're drinking the Sofa King cherry sour. It's really good. Because I've had a lot of sours and I really like sour beers. I have to say my first experimentation into like your non-usual beers was a Goza, because I've lived in Staten Island all my life, and when Flagship opened, they used to have like this little table where they had books and stuff. And one of the books was unfortunately by an author named Michael Jackson, and it was Beers of the World. And I'm flipping through it, and it was Goza. And I thought Goza was really interesting because it was a sour ale, and if you ever see the traditional bottle a Goza is in, is that very slender neck and a teardrop shape, and it's usually sealed with wax. And I've had the two main Gozas from Leipzig, Germany, and I've had many American versions of it. It's one of my favorite beers that like you usually don't find. But it got me into the world of sours, and now to this one, it's very interesting because it's got the sourness to it, but like the vanilla element of it gives it kind of like a bit of a sweetness to it.
Yeah, it smooths it out a lot.
Yeah, because like my mom, it's very rare for her to like a sour ale. For me, I like them a lot. I can't get enough of them, but like for her, it has to kind of like balance out with like sour and sweetness.
This is why I like Berliner Weisses so much, because I find like they definitely have that balance.
Yeah.
Like they don't get super tart, they don't get super light or anything like that. They have a lot of flavor just all around, and they don't really get all that tart.
Yeah, for me, I've had some like sour ales or like some Gozas that were almost to me like kind of like a champagne, where like they kind of had like the tartiness and the bubbliness and the sweetness of like a champagne all in one, where it was very smooth and it went down really nice. And then there's some of them where it's kind of like it's really in your face.
Yeah. So we are now handing out little samples of our flagship New England style IPA, the Hazy Cosmic Jive. It is a 6.8% tasty haze bomb. We brewed it with Eldorado hops and Galaxy hops. It's Hazy Cosmic. Tip your bartenders.
Where do you get Eldorado house?
And
No, the last one is the canned juice tamper. We only have the one sour. The last one is the sour thing on top.
so it has a very big sweetness on it, with a very mild hop bitterness on that back end. It is one of my favorites that we keep pumping out. Yes. Oh, thank you. And it's one of the beers that we've consistently tried to keep stepping up to make better. Like every time that we've made a batch of it, we're always thinking, how can we make it one step better? How can we progress it? The last batch of it that we did, like, yeah, this is really hazy, but like the last batch of it kind of like cleared out a little bit, and like, it was still technically hazy, but like it's not opaque like this is. We, our head brewer Travis, we found this this yeast culture that is like a haze stabilizer, and essentially it just does what you're looking at. It keeps all the haze and all the sediment just throughout the whole beer, rather than rather than it all just like going all the way to the bottom and then just clearing up. So. I truly cannot taste the difference between the last batch and this batch, as far as like adding in the stabilizer, and like there's no chemical taste or anything like that. It just drinks really good.
But the haze stabilizer, is that like a plant-based, or is that like?
Yep. So it essentially just keeps all the sediment.
No, but I mean, is it kind of like a hop, or what is it that stabilizes it? I mean, like what?
I have to look at the actual packaging for it, but I'm pretty sure it's a yeast.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
And it's essentially just a natural way so it doesn't just separate all the sediment.
No, but I've never actually heard of a haze stabilizer before.
It's relatively new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like even our brewer Travis, he was like, "Oh yeah, I found this new thing, so I'm just gonna get like a little bit of it and try it out." Like this was a last second decision. Like we already had this sitting in the fermenter, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna order this. It's gonna be here in about a week."
I should invite you into this too as well.
So we ran with it. Oh, truthfully, it came in like a really tiny package. Like it was a really small package. Like, you did not need a lot of this for the amount that we were making. Yeah, so it was like maybe 12 ounces for the whole tank, and we made a 20 barrel batch.
So we started.
Yeah, so like 12 ounces for that whole 20 barrel batch, and it keeps it looking like this. It makes it look like orange juice.
I know.
So is Red Tank available like anywhere other than New Jersey?
Unfortunately, right now we're working through Shore Point distribution, so only in their range. So they only stretch from about Ocean County, New Jersey, to about Essex, New Jersey.
Is that like mid, north, south Jersey? Central, sorry?
Pretty much just covers all of Central Jersey.
Okay.
You
So
get
your
a little.
best bet is just to go to your brewery and just take the beer home.
Yes. Essentially, we stretch a little past the Driscoll Bridge, going north, and then.
Yeah.
Hey,
Central Jersey was close enough.
Exit one of the Jersey Turnpike.
Is the goal to expand that, you think? Or
Yes.
kind of like,
So right now, between me and my boss, we are looking to distribute by ourselves outside of Shore Point's range, and just kind of dance between the markets from like all the way down in like the Cape May area, all the way up to like the North Jersey area. And obviously, Staten Island, there's a small market here apparently.
I'm so glad I got this.
This is the first time Staten Island, probably, right?
I believe so.
No.
I believe so. Because Short Point doesn't do New York at all. So I'd be pretty surprised if we were anywhere else.
You're looking for.
Just trying to get
And
rid of
I guess the last beer of the night, we're handing out cans of our Molly Pitcher Amber Ale.
Very nice label.
Yes,
Woo, cute.
very historic.
Yeah, Molly Pitcher.
Yeah, but I don't be in on this. I don't know.
So right around the corner from the brewery, about 2 blocks away, is the Molly Pitcher Inn. Like it's an actual hotel, and it's a very expensive hotel. Most of the time, it's performing artists that are playing at PNC Art Center. They'll stay the night there, and my uncle confused Kid Rock for another family member of mine. Because he was working security for Molly Pitcher Inn. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And so that's where the name came from. Also, one of my boss's daughter's name is Molly. So another play on in his life versus the real world equivalent of
It's a very select.
the hotel right around the corner.
I was trying to get like my other friend group to do it, and I didn't want it.
So this is a super nice malty amber ale.
I haven't seen you in 2 years. I blame myself.
Really crispy. It has like a very cracker kind of finish on it.
I know. Yeah.
I'll wait until everyone gets a little bit of
You
it.
can tell me like what type it is. You could rate. You could rate.
This is really pretty. Very nice.
See, I did like the first 2 times. I got too much. I got too much. I didn't do that. I don't do that anymore. No. I don't do it anymore. I only did it like once. I'd marry you. I'm so sad.
Really nice.
So
I know the lighting might not be the greatest, but it is very red, very amber in color. And looking at it. Yeah.
Bad hearing.
One of my favorites.
I want to big Kombucha.
Right. But it's not like too in your face with anything.
Super good. Yeah, it's
5.5%, 6%.
Should be 5.5.
So
like well balanced, roasty.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
This is definitely like one of my favorite beers to have like any time throughout the year.
I'm sorry. Do you guys? Really well.
We only distribute in 730.
remember, we have 2 questions. Should I go to the bathroom with that place? Get up to the stomach.
You should drink more kombucha. It has probiotics.
Kombucha has probiotics.
Not right now. I am looking into it though.
So we got the benefit of very fresh beer tonight.
Yes. Everything you've been drinking tonight has been made in the past like 3 weeks. So everything's super fresh. Yeah. This is another beer that like is like one of our flagships, like the Hazy Cosmic right before. That's something that we want to keep making better and better. We had a batch back in December.
I love the movie. I saw it for the first time by myself.
Yeah, so it had this flavor, but we accidentally used darker malts and grains. So it was almost, it almost looked like a stout. Kind of. Sure, but it had this flavor.
Yeah,
So
this
like,
was raw.
So we ended up liking how good this batch, like that batch tasted, but we want to fix the color. So we just switched around some of the malted grains again, and we landed on this. And it's
I was trying to get it
again, like we want to try and keep doing better and better. This was our better. And, besides everything you've been drinking tonight, we got a couple of new stuff coming at the brewery within the next month and a half. We have 2 Belgian styles. We have a basic Belgian wheat and a creamsicle Belgian wheat. It's going to be like blood orange and vanilla. And then we have 2 different hard seltzers coming out. Like one's gonna be like a margarita style, one's gonna be like an Aperol spritz kind of thing, and then a double IPA is in our future as well.
Like my anxiety was really bothered.
So that's gonna be really
I wasn't like watching anything, so I put that on.
We're going from there.
Like it's such a weird.
And we're going from there. And I guess last call for questions.
My mom was like, "Oh, watch it." I was like, "Okay."
So the tap room,
Yes.
you guys have an exclusive. I mean, this is exclusive. You have 8 lines.
12.
This is the only Apple show that I watch, and the only reason why I want to watch this.
No, so we're 2 different companies.
No, okay.
So
the only reason,
I only have
the only
beer
reason why I watch this is
and
because
eventually hard seltzer.
Olivia Wilde.
She just also happens to work for Kombucha company.
I gotta support my. I gotta support my main Sudeikis. That's why I was like, I gotta support Sudeikis. I love them.
So locally, on your side,
I gotta support them.
this stuff bothers me.
I have no issue with it, but I love Sudeikis. Sorry.
We do have kegs, but not in this market right now.
I want to be bros with Sudeikis. Sudeikis is singles right now, so like I want to be hanging out with him.
And beers on your side of the market are also
We have about 6 cans right now, and then we have an anniversary bourbon barrel aged stout in bottles.
Ooh.
And then obviously like growlers.
hard to manage you guys because you want to get all legal across state lines.
Well, I mean, technically,
Dinner actually comes to Bed-Stuy and sells a couple of drinks.
I was in Bed-Stuy today. Where were you?
I'm around.
well, technically, if it's outside of Short Point Distribution's range, I can go wherever I want. So it's not illegal.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, I wordsmith language. But we don't have these anyway. But it would be great to have kombucha is can only, but not cake.
Correct. We do 12 and 16 ounce.
And
The
then,
Lychee Lime's only 12.
I don't know. I don't know if it's
and then as far as my beers, we have primarily sixtels of every beer. I mean, I do have some cans, but like the cans that we're holding right now is just for the brewery, and then whatever we dish out to Short Point.
So,
Okay, what was the last Sudeikis?
whatever business card I get, I can contact both.
When he brings in the discounts,
Technically,
We'll figure it out.
It's a play off of the.
she's much more prepared than me.
yeah, the whole character that they did like for
The fact
like
that
the
the one guy,
English premiers, it's
the
based
owner,
off this guy.
he's got.
So he's like,
And
it's a
we're not
character
in
that.
many long-term locations. We launched during COVID.
Oh no.
I
Yeah.
guess because I'm also I'm looking at the science of it. We have to run it through a nitro line, right?
No, regular line.
Nitro Kombucha sounds fun.
I love everything.
But I was curious. I was like, where is he getting them from? And I hope they never. I was like hoping they never revealed it. But then when they showed it, I was like,
Science kombucha with pouring of kombucha from a cake. That's fascinating.
I can't wait
So
for
I
season
used to
2.
work for a distributor that had it in kegs. And we pour it fine regularly. I mean, that one itself wasn't great because it kept
I kind of want to go watch it. Anytime I talk about it, I'm like, shit, I need to go watch it now.
we had yeah.
Seasons on TBS. The cartoon show? Yeah. Conan produced it. Yes. Okay.
Hey, let's have a big hand for Tom and Kira. We have stickers. Kira, sports stickers. Come on up and grab them. Sorry, grab one. Next month for Beer Club, first of all, you'll be able to sit at the bar when you come in.
Yeah.
I mean, not the Beer Club, but before. But, you know, things are progressing, and that's good. Next month for Beer Club is pretty interesting to me. We have Mass Landing from Maine. The brewer for Mass Landing is Pat Morse, who used to be the brewer for Flagship. The beers that we have next month will be beers that he brewed. I don't know if he's going to make it. I did speak to him. He's not sure, so probably not. But the beer that we have here will be the beer that he brewed. So that's kind of cool. And I've had some stuff from them recently, and it's all really good. So looking forward to that. I hope all of you come out again. Go out and ask for Luna Bay.
Yeah.
And Red Tank. Go down to Red Tank. Go see Tom and Kira. They're there on Sundays.
And mango salad.
Mango.
It's the best one.
Team Cherry.
No. Mango. Mango percent.
You decide for yourself.
Cherry.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming out, and I'll see you next month, Beer Club.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stickers.
Okay.
Same.
You figured it out. Well, the win. It's the first person to say that.
Well, here's the problem. She won't let me cut it. So, that's not passion. Here to stay forever.
So wait, what are we?
You know how often I get asked, like, hey, is that your mask or is that a beer? Like, I mean, I'm really upset that you can't tell the difference between a mask and a beer. But yes, it's a beer. It's like,
Why am I sending my crystal now? So I just saw that Jeff paid someone on Venmo, and I realized I'd have to walk on Venmo.
You can walk it over to that person?
I need to do everything.
Tell them.
I need to not, like, I don't know what it is.
I mean, like, it depends on the situation. Like, I don't have Sam blocked on anything, but like, I'm private on everything now. I don't want her seeing what I'm posting, and you know, I feel like that. Like, There's always a certain person that's always going to keep checking on you. Oh, I don't know.
I think you need to not have her phone in your.
I stopped.
Got it.
She won't come out. No, but it probably won't.
Right. Juggling and then you have Eva Twin in Brooklyn. That place is awesome.
I mean, if it was like that, I'd be like,